if he's pulling back, obviously I'm not going to let go and switch grips. But as soon as I feel him, he stops for a second and concentrates on something else or drops his head, I'll use that as a moment to turn my hands around, okay? So I'm here, I turn my hands around. Once I turn my hands around, there's two ways I'm going to get this triangle, okay? So first way is I'm going to feed the hand between the legs, like this. Okay? Just like this. So I put the hand between the legs and move across here just like that. So if you look at that slow motion, what I do is I push one hand here, I hang on to it. Now as I kick off his hip, I pull this arm across and kick this calf across the back of the head. See how I'm holding that wrist? As this starts to lock on, I pull my hand out and I have the triangle. That's the first way. Okay? So what I want you to do is just do a few repetitions like this so it's nice and smooth. You have this motion. You should be looking in his ear when you do a correct triangle. See how I'm off to the side like that? That makes this very tight. And I can squeeze here and make him tap by bringing my knees together. If I'm here and he's really big, sometimes you can't get your foot underneath your kneecap and he'll pull out, slide out. Okay? So that's that first motion. Hand between the knees, between the legs. Is anybody here familiar with this? Have you guys done this? Yeah. A little bit? You have? Anybody else? So it's fairly new. Okay, good. The second one I'm going to do is I'm going to go leg between the hands. Okay? So I'm going to go like this. So it's like you're going to kick him in the face, but you miss. Boom, like that. And bring that arm across and come back down into the triangle. Okay? So from here, boom, just like that. Back down into the triangle. So just stay where you're at. Okay? So first way, hand between the legs. Second way, leg between the hands. See, I'm controlling this still so he doesn't punch me. Then I'm going to let go and then finish or strike. Okay, right here, once I have it locked on. When you go for that triangle, when you get it, he's going to do different things, okay? So when we're here, I feed that triangle. One of the first things he may do is try and make a frame on my stomach and lift his head up to get posture. So when he does that, I'm going to punch with both hands like this, okay? Over and over and over again. As he starts to take a few shots, I'm going to raise my hips up so they're flat, push the elbow across like that, and then drop my hips again, which locks his elbow in. Then I can put my hand on the top of his head and just pinch my knees together like this as I slowly raise my hips, like that. Okay, sorry. So from here, he makes that frame, raise up, give him some strikes. This won't work if your legs aren't locked. If your legs are like this and he's strong, he's going to pull right out. That's why the first thing I do when I get that triangle is I lock my legs. I lock it in. So even if he stands up, I'm going to go with him. I'll show you that. If he stands up now, he's a big strong guy, he's going to pick me up and drop me, which is a very bad idea, by the way. It just tightens up the triangle, so it's not smart. But people still do it because they'll get away with it sometimes on somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. So when he goes to do that to me, I'm going to hug the leg like this. As I'm hugging the leg, even if he's real strong, he won't be able to pick me up because he's fighting his own weight. And from this position again, all I have to do is gently squeeze my knees together and he passes out. It's very tight. But you got to get that leg in time before he picks you off the mat. There's a timing issue there. Okay? So from here, as he goes to stand up, I grab right away and pull my ear to this knee, just like this. Then I have it for sure. He's going to tap. Okay, so again, from this position, he makes a frame. Punch, 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 bring that elbow across, drop the hips in. There's your triangle. He stands. Boom, grab and hold. There's a triangle. So we'll come back. So the next thing he may do here, when I go here, since this is not working, making the frame and standing, is he'll want to keep his head down so he doesn't get punched, so he'll move his arm over here to try and keep the blood on this side of his neck flowing, but keeping his head down because he'll punch him. Okay? So he does this. It's pretty common actually. When I see that, I'm going to raise my right hip up so that his elbow is pointed towards the sky like this. Grab the wrist and then use my hip to drop his body weight and lock on Kimura. Shoulder lock. Okay, so slow motion. He's holding here. I raise that elbow up. I grab the wrist. I grab the elbow. As I drop my hips, I start to crank the arm. So I'm using body weight instead of upper body muscle like this. This slides into this grip like that. Okay? Now, a lot of super strong guys, what they do here is they straighten out their arm and he'll fight with you here if he's stronger than I am. Okay? So what I do from here, assuming he's stronger than I am, is I open up my leg and I use my leg here to bring his wrist back to his back. Now my leg's actually holding, locked his wrist in, so he tries to get it straighten out your arm. You can't straighten out the arm. And all you have to do is shrimp real slow like this, again, using my hips instead of my strength to apply the choke, arm lock, shoulder lock, okay? So brings that arm over. Raise the hips up, grab. Acquire your grip. Lock it in. Shrimp, slow. Makes the frame. Punch, push that arm across. Bring him back down. He stands. Grab, hang on. Just some basic counters. Okay, try it real quick. Let's throw one more thing in there and then we'll move on to a different subject. Otherwise, we could spend all day doing this. So he's down here in the guard, same thing, he's striking. I'm working from spider guard here. This time I'm like this, okay? So I've got my hand here. I reach down to this position, but instead of starting with the triangle, I'm going to start with the shoulder lock, okay? So I have his wrist, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach across and grab the tricep. And when I grab the tricep, I'm going to bring my shoulder to my jaw because he's got that other hand. He can punch me in the face, but all he's going to get here is the top of my head because my knee's in the way and my shoulder's here. I'm not going to be like this and then risk the chance he could boom and he gets a good shot in, okay? So when I go like this, I'm tucked. So even if I were to stay here for a moment, which I'm not going to do, but even if I were, the best he's going to get is my ribs, okay? Now while he's being worried about that, that's great because he's distracted. I'm just going to pull and kick and take the Kimura on this side, like this. And this time I left my left foot on his hip, my left foot on his hip bone, and I push off his hip to get to this position here. Okay, if I go to the other side, I'm here. I grab his tricep and cover. He's punching, striking there. At the same time as I kick my left foot across the top of his back, I want to pull with my right hand and keep his elbow bent like this. If you look at it in slow motion. See how my right foot's on his hip bone? So that I can move my hips out and get to this position. Other side.